Good morning, this is XPulse AI Morning Mix. Today is Monday, April 13th, 2026. We're tracking regulators circling a new Anthropic model, Apple's surprising AI leadership shakeup, alongside smart glasses rumors, and how money is flooding into AI. I've got Orion with me. Ready?
Ready, let's move.
Reuters, via the Financial Times, reported on April 12th that UK financial regulators held urgent talks after risks flagged by Anthropic's latest model. Orion, what triggered the alarm?
The Bank of England, the Financial Conduct Authority, and Treasury officials reportedly met with the National Cybersecurity Center and major banks to assess vulnerabilities, specifically how new model capabilities could be abused against critical IT systems and weaken financial sector cyber resilience.
Is this about the model hacking systems directly or humans using it as a tool?
Mostly the second. Threat actors using advanced models to speed up phishing, malware development, and reconnaissance, plus stress testing brittle internal workflows. The notable part is the urgency and the attendee list. When central banks convene, it's not a theoretical tabletop exercise.
Bloomberg reported on April 12th that Apple is developing displayless AI smart glasses, and in the same report, that Apple's head of AI, Giannandrea, is leaving. Orion, what's going on here?
Two signals at once. Apple is exploring multiple frame styles and a camera-based design without an on-lens display, aiming at the always-available assistant vibe, closer to Meta's Ray-Bans. And Giannandrea's departure suggests leadership changes as Apple tries to turn AI into a consumer hardware moment.
Displayless glasses, so your notifications can't chase you?
Exactly, and it frames Apple's bet: audio, camera, and on-device intelligence rather than a mini screen. The risk is trust and utility. If the assistant isn't reliably helpful, you're just wearing an expensive microphone with great industrial design.
Trading Key reported on April 12th that Microsoft has released its own AI models and is moving to reduce dependence on OpenAI. Orion, how big a deal is that if true?
It's a major strategic hedge. Microsoft sells AI as a full stack: models, tools, and Azure infrastructure. Owning more of the model layer can improve margins, control, and compliance posture, especially as regulators scrutinize cloud and AI concentration.
Does this mean Microsoft and OpenAI are drifting apart?
Not necessarily a breakup, more like an insurance policy. Enterprises want optionality, and Microsoft wants leverage: multiple model families, different price performance points, and a fallback if partnerships or policy constraints shift.
The Times of India, citing Crunchbase data, reported on April 13th that global venture funding hit a record $300 billion in the January to March quarter, with roughly 80% of dollars going to AI deals. Orion, what should we read into that?
Two things. AI is still the magnet for big checks, and the dollars are concentrated in a handful of mega deals, often infrastructure, foundation model labs, and late-stage winners. So the headline is record funding, but the lived reality for many startups can still be tight.
So champagne for a few, ramen for the rest?
That's the dynamic. It also raises second-order questions: valuation discipline, compute supply constraints, and whether new entrants can compete without access to enormous capital and preferred cloud partnerships.
Futurism reported on April 11th, citing stat and interviews, that AI transcription scribes in U.S. healthcare are driving costs up, despite earlier promises they'd cut spending. Orion, why would transcription add cost?
Because scribe tools often expand documentation volume, trigger more billable coding opportunities, and require new workflows, licenses, integration work, compliance reviews, and human oversight. If clinicians generate longer notes faster, the system doesn't automatically get cheaper. It can actually get more expensive.
Is this just early rollout friction or a structural issue?
Some is early friction, but there's a structural incentive problem. Reimbursement rewards documentation and complexity. If AI amplifies that, savings don't show up unless payment models and process design change alongside the tech.
A few more headlines worth your attention. Xinhua reported on April 12th that California is pressing ahead with a state AI framework, despite White House guidance aiming to limit state-by-state rules.
That's a compliance headache. The biggest U.S. tech market setting its own guardrails can force companies to build California-first controls, then decide whether to roll them out nationally or maintain multiple product modes.
On products, the Next Web says OpenAI launched a $100 per month ChatGPT Pro tier on April 12th with expanded codex access for heavy developers. And in physical AI, Bielsa Watch reports Engine AI raised $200 million Series B, valuing it above 10 billion renminbi. Orion, what is Engine AI?
They're a Chinese humanoid robotics startup aiming at industrial and service use cases. Think warehouse and facility tasks, migrating from fixed automation to more general-purpose robots. The big number here is investor belief that embodied AI could become the next platform wave.
Meanwhile, CNBC on April 11th flagged Amkor as a beneficiary of AI data center growth, thanks to advanced chip packaging and test demand. And Reason.com on April 12th reports a lawyer was sanctioned after filing a complaint that relied on AI hallucinations.
Packaging is the unglamorous choke point of modern compute. If you can't package it, you can't ship it. On the legal sanction, courts are signaling a simple rule. If you file it, you own it, no matter which chatbot wrote the draft.
Last two, Intellectia.ai reported on April 12th that Google ad revenue hit a new high, with gains attributed partly to AI tools like Gemini and Vertex AI. And The Guardian reported April 12th that major AI firms are funding policy research, plus OpenAI dropped a surprise policy paper.
Google's story is AI that sells, not just demos, embedding models into ad creation and targeting workflows. And the policy paper wave is reputational strategy. Companies want to shape the rules and the narrative at the same time because regulation is now part of the product roadmap.
That's XPulse AI Morning Mix from XPulse for Monday, April 13th, 2026. If this helped, share it with a colleague, and we'll catch you next time.